in. You're right. I mean, I just think there's nothing else there. And
it was such a big story. It was so like, this is life. Like we can't go anywhere from here. And that's, you know what I mean? Like, look, there are very few Teresas or Countess Luann's where you get married and he cheats and it's a divorce. And then you fall in bushes and you're recovering from alcoholism. And, you know, this,
I know.
like, it's just, there's not, so it's not a knock against her. It's like also, so that's really the reason I think. I also think that, look, let me back up. I know for a fact also, next season, guys, it's going to be different. Like this Beverly Hills season that just started this week.
Yeah.
We're not going to have Erica, did she know? Did she not? No. Yeah. We've done that. We're going to have little bits of that, but we're going to have a different season. So next season of New Jersey is 100% not going to be Margaret, Melissa, and Jackie over here versus Teresa about Louis. Louis has a lot of problems. There's a lot going on. It's going to be there, but it's going to be much lighter. It's going to feel looser, and it's going to be a whole different season because that's what we do in Housewives. So if you have three people that are so united, Margaret, Melissa, and Jackie, this is an octopus, and we have three tentacles. You're not chopping off the Melissa tentacle for obvious reasons. You're not chopping off the Margaret tentacle after this season. Jackie's just the sacrificial lamb out of these three. It changes the show. It changes the show. They're not going to have three people hating on Teresa next season. They won't. It's not going to be Margaret even talking about Louis nonstop. I mean, I would think that Margaret has a directive, lighten up on talking about Louis and talk about something else. Great season, girl. But
next season, we're doing it different.
Yeah. So it just makes sense.
Oh, that's so juicy. Okay, wait, but did you like Traci? Did you like Traci and Tiki? Like, I kind of want to see more of them.
And by the way, let me just say two more things since we're on the topic. Kim D on my Patreon this past week for an app said the exact same thing as you. She's like, all Jackie talks about is like, Evan didn't cheat. We're normal. Evan's normal. I'm normal. We're normal. I personally, because I know Jackie in the real world, I love watching Jackie on the show because I think she's a wonderful person. So I might be like a little clouded, but probably not, because Jennifer and I hate each other and I really do enjoy watching her. But so I didn't mind Jackie, but I understand it. Here's the thing though, two things. The contracts go out to the housewives. So Jersey never gives a contract to a new housewife in the beginning. So we have three new names kicking around and all of them will film. And they will either be a friend of a housewife or end up on the cutting room floor. We've already just had that with Michelle Pace and all these other people. So these three new names that are floating around, nobody's a housewife. Let's see how they do. Jackie had to know right away because the contracts go out to the current housewife, so they couldn't give her one because they're demoting her. But we also had Sutton Strack in her first season that didn't have a diamond, and she earned it. So look, do I think Jackie's going to have a out of body experience and go balls to the wall and do something that gets her a contract at the end of the season? I don't, but I mean, she's not going to go against Margaret for fame, but I do think that she could earn her way up there, right? She could earn her way up. And at the end of the season, they could say Jackie did so much. Let me get to Traci.
Okay, tell me about Traci, because I like Traci. I think Traci comes out of it like, you know, and people are, you know, they were trying to accuse her of breaking up Tiki's marriage. And she's like, bring it. I'll tell you the exact story. Like that. I like her.
Well, let me tell you something.
Okay. Give me the scoop.
As of right now, as I broke on Patreon, I broke the exclusives. Again, this could change, but as of right now, this recording right now, which by the time it comes out, maybe will be different because it's going to be 7 days from now. Traci and Tiki are coming back.
Oh my God.
They're coming back. I'm shocked by that, to be honest with you.
Okay. And you want to talk about someone that was blacklisted. I don't know if you've ever listened to Tiki Barber's full interview on Howard Stern. It was so good. And I mean, he gives absolute detail. When that story came out that he was seeing Traci, I mean, like the day that happened, Matt Lauer, I think the only person from the Today Show set, and by the way, I was so madly in love with him when he was on Today Show as a host.
Tiki.
The only person that called him was like fucking Hoda Kotb. That was the only person. The rest of them, it was like he was dead to them in like 2 minutes. And of course, the irony is, Matt Lauer isn't even there anymore. Like none of them are even there anymore. But I was like, fascinating. And he's like, yeah, I went to work. I thought these people were my friends, that, we were at least, cordial, that maybe they would check to see if it was true. No. Crickets.
Show business, guys,
Show
not
business.
your friends. I really feel most people will fuck you over to get ahead in this sick business. Really.
Oh, completely. I do too. I think it's so true. But
so,
he's been through shit. He's been through shit. I think they're obviously really in love, but I think, there's a lot of layers to him, right? I mean, he was like at the pinnacle of his career. He lost it all for love with her. They have kids. We haven't even really been introduced to their kids. Tiki Barber's brother's famous. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is what I love about Beverly Hills. You have famous kids. You have Harry Hamlin. You have, I think Traci and Tiki bring that element. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad they're back.
I think Traci and Tiki bring that element. I feel that whereas Jackie needed to know right now about the contract, Traci's a friend of, so she doesn't need to know. Listen, I think she brought a lot. And if she stepped it up and went crazy, she could be a housewife. She has potential. She has potential.
Totally agree. Loved it.
She has potential. And, listen, we've seen this. I mean, you remember your friend over there, that Dr. Wendy Osefo? You know her?
Dr. Wendy.
Because I don't know a doctor. I know a candle maker. I know a girl that's had a glam up. No shade to Wendy. I'm not shading you. I'm just saying sometimes, lots of times you have your first season and you watch and you learn and you're like, wait, when that one said that to me, she wasn't mad at me. She didn't care. Oh, that's the job. You're supposed to create it. So sometimes these first season ladies go home and they study themselves and they're like, I don't want to let go. And I just need one more season. And they come back. I've heard this season, Miss Drew Sidora on Atlanta. She had a good first season, Drew. Lots of people didn't like her. I heard Drew is like the secret sauce this season. So sometimes when you want it and you have the DNA and you're given a second season, you come back ready to go balls to the wall. And not everyone, sometimes your second season is your last, sometimes you hang on, but I think Traci has it. She's very good friends with Miss Snooki, Miss Nicole Paluzzi in real life.
Oh, great. I love it. And
so it's like she has potential.
Couple. I mean, I love that they're a mixed race couple. I think they bring diversity to the show. Well, what?
I have said before, again, I'm just telling you how my mind thinks. I'm not commenting. I do think that is probably, what I'm going to say. I do think that's probably